So I have started the recording. Okay. So today we will discuss access list. What is the use cases of ACLs in ASA firewall, and what kind of ACL we have in ASA. Okay. So let me go through with this slide. So basically, ACLs we use for blocking the traffic, allowing the traffic. Okay, or like controlling that control. If we want to control any kind of traffic, for that we need to open a access list in a firewall. Okay. So the thing is, we also have a security levels. So we already have a discussion, like we have a security level which is a number, okay, which basically comes between 0 to 100, okay, and 100 is a high most secure zone or most secure number, okay, and all the traffic from higher security level to lower security level is by default allowed. Okay, so a security level is a number between 0 and 100 that determines how firewall rules are processed for the data plane. Data planes means the actual data which is initiated by the user towards the internet or towards the any server which is available publicly. Okay, so actually security levels are tied to an interface, the inside or the private side. Okay, interface is always 100, means for inside users or for inside interface we generally put the security level which is 100. 100 means most trusted. Most trusted means the network where actual users are available and we are trusted on these users. Okay, and the outside or a public interface means the interface which is connected with the ISP is always 0, means it is a network which is where all the unsecure or untrusted users or like attackers or hackers is available. Okay, there is also one DMZ interface. Okay, so if we are using that DMZ interface, so we can assign any numbers between 1 to 99. Okay, generally if I'll talk about the standards, so we give the DMZ to 50. Traffic on a ASA is allowed by default from a high security level interface to a low security level interface, means from high security level to low security level all the traffic by default allowed. Okay, and ACL must explicitly permit traffic from a lower security level interface to a higher security level. Means we want to allow the traffic from outside to inside. Okay, for that what we need to do, we need to open an access list, because from high security level to low security level all the traffic is denied. Okay, so you want to allow the traffic, you want to like permit some kind of traffic, like if we have some web services in our network, we want to host that web services, for that we need to open an access list. Okay, so you just need to remember that point. Okay, that is very important point here. So if I talk about the ACLs, we have around 4 kind of ACL in ASA firewall. Okay, first one is a standard ACL. So this is like little bit description for that. The standard ACL used for routing protocols, not firewall rules. Okay, if you want to block some kind of routing traffic, like traffic which is related to OSPF, RIP, ASARP, BGP. We also have extended ACLs. These are the ACL which we use for allowing the source IP address, destination IP address, source port, destination port, and a protocol. After we have a ether type ACLs. These are the ACL which we configure in transparent mode. Means these are the ACL which is related to L2, which is related to layer 2. Okay. These are the ACL which is related to L3 and L4. So in L3, what kind of protocol we have? We have a IP protocol, we have ICMP protocols. Okay. In L4, layer 4, we have a TCP, we have a UDP. Okay. That kind of protocols. There's also a web type of ACLs which we use for SSL VPN or remote access VPN. Okay, like Cisco IOS ACLs are processed from top to down. Means if we have a 10 access rule in our ASA configuration, so the thing is when any traffic pass this ASA firewall, so first basically he matches the first rule, first ACL entries, after that the second, after third. Okay, means top to bottom sequentially with an implicit deny at all at the bottom. If we not have any ACLs, so the thing is in a bottom we have one ACL which denied all the traffic. Okay, that's why we have we have one implicit deny.
Top to bottom, I don't understand.
Top to bottom means, let me open one config. Okay, ASA config. Let me open one small configuration. So customer, yeah, I can open this one. So these are like actually ASA configuration. Let me open it into Notepad++. Okay, like this is a ASA configuration. So let me directly go into the ACLs part. Okay, so like we have these much ACLs here. Okay, so if any traffic which is going through this firewall, so first ASA match this rule. Okay, after that it match this rule, after that this rule, then this rule. That is like top to bottom. So if this rule allowing any traffic, okay, then ASA not go for these rules. Okay, according to the action which we define here in this first ACL entries, he take the action on he take the action on that traffic if he matches any rule. Okay, so thinking like let's suppose we are just allowing some ICMP traffic, okay, from inside to outside, and we also write one ACL here, like which is denying all the traffic. I'm just giving you an example here. Okay, so what happens, we have already opened one permitted statement there, right? We already have a allow statement there. So the thing is, if we put that allow statement here and deny statement here, so by default this rule matches for ICMP traffic, and basically he allowed all the traffic. Okay, that is the meaning of top to bottom. So like we have like here we have like this rule, access list. I'll give this name inside here. I permit ICMP any. Okay, let's suppose I am having this rule, control V. Here I'll have deny this traffic. Okay, like here I am allowing all the TCP traffic. Okay, so the thing is we want to deny that traffic. Okay, or we want to deny ICMP traffic, so we need to put this rule above this first rule, because in first rule what first rule said, it is basically allowing all the traffic, right? So that is the like way how Cisco ASA firewall process these ACLs. Okay, because in ASA we have a millions of ACLs. It depends on the ASA model and your configuration. Okay, so like if you have a very big ASA like 5585 series, so that ASA may have 15,000 ACLs, 10,000 ACLs. Okay, so the thing is, this is a sequence for that. First rule, he matches the first rule, after that the second rule. Or these, see, the thing is ACL, this is a like ACL name is inside, right? So this is a like first access control entry. This is a second access control entry. This is a third access control entry. So in short form, we basically pronounce these things as a ACE. Okay, access control entries, ACE. So this is like first ACE. So always first ACE image, after the second ACE, after the third ACE. Are you okay with that now? I hope.
So what is ICMP?
ICMP is a like IP protocol. We use ping, right?
So, yeah.
We use
So like
ping.
ICMP, where does it be used? Like,
Sorry. Generally, the thing is ICMP is a protocol. Okay. So when we initiate a ping request to any source, that ping basically uses the ICMP protocol only. Okay.
okay,
Like if we are going to do some web browsing, okay, that web browsing uses the port number 80, okay, right, and the TCP
okay,
port number 80 on TCP. Like we have a DNS work on port
so
number 53. It uses the UDP 53, right?
uh,
Because this is like
yeah,
this is a like transport layer encapsulation. After that we have a IP encapsulation. That's why I'll told you guys, I'll share you that links, right? Understand the TCP UDP headers. So the thing is, let me,
so we are like in the access list.
sorry.
So in this scenario, we are like in the on the access list inside. We
Hmm.
are permitting any IP address, correct?
Yes, correct. Generally what happens, from inside to outside all the traffic is allowed, okay.
Okay,
But the thing is, so I'll just give this name to here. Maybe I write the here outside, okay? That makes sense here.
okay,
People having interfaces, people also like uses the that ACL in inside network as well as in outside, both places.
okay.
It depends on the like scenarios, and depends on the your configuration, and depends on the network engineer how basically he's going to implement that kind of stuff there.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so no worries. I will tomorrow, no, not tomorrow. Maybe when I reach my Bangalore, that time I will show you like how encapsulation work. Okay, how the TCP,
Okay,
then the how IP layer, then the other stuffs. Okay, because I need to use my Epic pen there, or digital pad. So we'll have
okay,
one lecture on that. Okay, that's why actually I'll share that links. Or you just go through with that IP header, TCP header, UDP header. If you want to learn that ICMP also, there that also is available there only. Okay, you can learn these headers
okay.
that are very beneficial for you guys. Okay, because there is a OSI model, right? So in,
Yes.
in OSI model, we have a application layer, right? After that, we have a session layer, then application layer, then presentation, then session, right? After that, we have a
Session, yeah.
transport layer. So if we are like typing something in a browser, okay,
Mhm.
so basically that thing encapsulated over the HTTP header, right? After that, basically it converted in a some format, that HTML format, because
Mhm.
that is a work of that presentation layer. After that we have a session layer, so which create a session. Okay. After we have a TCP and transport layer, where basically that data convert into the segments. Okay.
Uh,
And they create a TCP header there, TCP packets there. After that TCP packet basically that when that TCP packet reach at layer 3 or IP layer, so here basically IP header added, okay, or inside IP header that hold the data and hold the TCP header is added, okay. That is the way for encapsulation. Okay, so TCP UDP header encapsulated inside the IP header. After that IP header encapsulated into the frames. That is the like that is the frames are the things which work on layer 2, right? Which contain the MAC address and source MAC, destination MAC. After that, these frames converted into the binary format, and that is the like working of physical layer. So that time basically that data that in binary form they basically exchange from via wires. That is the like process for that. I will show you that how encapsulation work. Nobody's, or you can also like if you can Google it, or you can search some videos on YouTube. You easily find these videos as well. I will try to find some videos on that and try to share you guys. Okay. So the thing is, you just remember, like we have here, let's suppose we have here 3 rules, right? Only. But there is also one rule at the bottom. Okay. At the bottom we have one rule, which denied everything. Like this rule, what said that bottom rule, access list outside deny id any. Okay. That rule is not visible, but it is there. Okay. So this rule known as a implicit deny rule at the bottom. Okay, so you can't see this rule is in your firewall, but the thing, it is available there. So you have to just remember that statement. We have one implicit deny rule at the bottom, which deny all the traffic. Okay.
So like outside traffic, any outside traffic, we cannot send any outside traffic.
No, it depends on the when it basically that rules bind with the ACLs only. If we applied the ACL in outside interface, then it deny all the traffic from outside. If we bind that ACL in inside interface, then basically it drop all the traffic from inside. Okay, it depends on the ACL where we are just implementing that ACLs. Got it?
Oh.
A criteria match will cause the ACL to be exited. Means the thing is, if we put some ACLs, like some ACL entries which are like allowing the traffic, and if we want to deny the traffic, then we need to put this ACL above that particular ACLs, right? If these ACLs are available below the ACL, then that rule will not work. Okay, that is the meaning of this statement. ACLs are made up of access control entries. Means if we have a ACL that is like inside ACL that contains around 10 statements, these statements use as a ACE, access control entries. Okay. We can also write a remark on a ACL. Okay, or ACL on a ACE as well. ACLs can be enabled or disabled based on the time ranges. We can also configure the time-based ACLs. Like if we want to configure one ACL which is active between like 12 a.m. to 2 p.m. like this. Okay, on the basis of time. Okay, now let me, so understanding the ACL logging. So the thing is, what happens if we write the log statement at the end of any ACLs, that time we get the logging information also. If that ACL hit means if anyone initiates some traffic towards the destination, and if this ACL matches this traffic, that time it gives us the logging detail. Log means it gives the log. Okay. So logging is it's an optional thing, but is a best practice method for understanding what is happening to the traffic as it passes through the firewall. Okay. Each ACE can be logged by adding the keyword log to the end of the ACE. This will create a system messages, this much message, okay, 106, 100, to be generated every time a flow is created. That means the ACE criteria. No other logs will be created for the same flow until the logging interval is exceeded, which by default is 5 minutes. Okay. So that interval is for 5 minutes only. This prevents firewall resources from being consumed for repetitive packets from the same flow. Okay. These are some new features. Okay. With the ACE. So these are like very high level of features. Okay. So if you want, I can explain the meaning of these features. Otherwise, I will just leave these details, okay, because these are the like some hash values related to times, like when the last time when our rule hits, okay, that kind of information. Okay, now I'll just continue with this thing, this one. So this is like type of ACLs, object groups, okay. We use object group for reducing and customizing the ACL rules. Okay, reducing or customization means if like we have 10 users in our inside network, which are the users related to sales department, and we also have one HR department. Okay, so what we do, we create a object group and we put all the IP address of these sales guys, and we also create another object group and where we call all the HR users. Okay, after that we can use these objects, okay, for writing the ACLs. So means it is like now reducing our effort. We need to every time write the IP address for all these sales guys and for all the HR users. What we do now, we just call this object group there. That's it. Okay. So basically it manually reduces the number of accessless entries. Okay. If 5 system wants to communicate to other 5 system for 5 different services, we need 125 ACLs. Okay, let's suppose we have 5 system. These 5 systems try to send some data for another 5 systems for 5 different services. For that we need to write 125 ACLs. Okay, if we use that object groups, what we do, we just create one object group regarding these 5 systems. We can create one object group regarding these 5 systems, and we also create one object group regarding these five services, and we can write one ACL for that. Okay, so it reduces our work to do, right? In place of writing 125 ACL, we can write only one ACLs. That's it. It's supported in single and multi-context mode. Supported in router and transparent firewall modes. Okay. You cannot remove an object or make an object group empty if it is used in a command. Okay. Means if we are using that object in a ACL or in a net statement, in that cases we can't like delete that objects from there. The name of the object group should be unique, means we need a unique name for that. Okay, so if I'll log in into my firewall, can you mute yourself, man? Okay, so we have a like here we are explaining the type of object group. So we have a protocol type object group. This is a format. Okay, object group. After we give the protocol, and here we can write the protocol ID. Okay, we have a network kind of objects. We give this command network group network. After we can give the name here. Okay, here we can type anything. Okay, so how we can create these objects, I will show you here. So let me create some object group for HR department. Okay, network. I'll give the name HR department. Okay, so if you know Okay, so if you know the subnet of these HRs users, in that case you can write the subnet. Like if you are aware about that, like your HR user sitting on this group, in that case you can include that full network in that group. Okay, so if I'll see, so run object. So now the thing is, my HR group included this network. Okay, so this is a network group for HR network only, HR users only. If they are using the same one subnet only. Let's suppose HR and sales guy using the same subnet. Okay, and you are aware about the IP address on, like HR user using this IP address, and these are the IP which is for HR users, and you also aware about the IP address which are used by the sales guys. So how you do this thing? You just go to object network. You can give like I am giving you HR01. Let's suppose. In that case, you use here host keyword. Okay. So let's suppose this is a one HR group HR users which is who is using 100. Let's suppose another one using 103 and another using 105. Let's suppose you have only 3 HRs. Okay. So run object. So that is, so I have included the okay, actually the thing is it is overriding the things. Okay, so in that case,
Sir, I don't understand what is object.
okay, see, object is a like combination of different kind of subnets, different kind of host, different kind of users. If we have 10 users, then we can include the IP address of these 10 users in one object. So if we want to write some policies for these 10 users, in that case we can just call this particular object there in IACLs. Okay.
So object is something like a group of like 10 people, and
Yes.
then we are combining together.
Yes. Same. Okay. We have a like different kind of objects, surveys, ICMP type. These are the like very high level of concept, man. Okay. So
Okay.
you need to like focus on that little bit. Okay.
Okay. So like we are like allowing or denying the traffic for this group of people like HR or marketing or something like that
Yes.
to access the internet or to.
Yes. Let's suppose.
Okay.
Let's
So
suppose.
the host we configured.
See, the thing is, if you know the particular IP address, like if you know the IP address of sales department, guys, like let's suppose you have only 10 sales guys, okay, and you know these are sales guy, and this is the range for these guys, IP address range. So what you do, you just create one object like this, network object network. Here you can give the like sales.
Okay.
After you can define the range. If you know, like this is a range, like 10.1.1.122, 10.1.1.130. If you are like, these are the IP address which is used by these 10 users. Okay. I think I'm writing the wrong format, so no worries. So 10.1.1.120. After we need to enter the end IP address for these guys. Like, so it includes all the 10 users, like 20 to 30, 20, 21, 22 to 30 in this range. So
Okay.
so we have created this range of this group. Okay. So if I'll check here, so run object. So let's suppose this is my sales, like sales user. So what I'll do, let's suppose I'll just write one ACL, like I'll give the name sales. Okay, sales ACLs or any ACL, you can give any name. Okay, after you can just permit. So let's suppose we are allowing all the TCP traffic to sales guys. Okay, permit TCP. Here we can call this object. Okay, sales to any. Okay, so we have like permit the TCP traffic. Let's suppose we want to block the UDP traffic to these guys. Okay, so we just deny UDP, and after that we can just give here object, and we can give the name of that these objects, sales to any. So run access list. So I have write this access list, right? So in first ACL I am allowing all the traffic for sales users, and here I am just denying this traffic for sales users. What basically here I achieve? See, if I run this statement, so access list, here you have a same thing, like here you have a range only, right? If this is like main ACL, after that you have a this sub ACLs, right? Okay, so basically we have if we want to like write the ACL for particular host, so we need around 10 ACLs, right, for these 10 users. But what we do, we just call these users in a group. After we can write the ACL, write the access rules for this group where we have all that 10 IP address used by sales guy, right? Are you got it? What is the like use case of objects? Because you got the idea when you implement that kind of stuff in your environment. Okay, so what I'll do now I'll tell you how we can write the ACLs. So this is like format access list. Okay, outside. So what I'll do, I'll just allow the ICMP traffic from outside. Okay, so access list outside. Here I'll give the permit statement. So this is a like ACL, this is a name of ACLs. Okay, here you can write anything. If I'll run the question mark, so here you can also use a word, like you can use 1, 200, 100, anything. Okay, or you can either use the name. So I'm using here outside because I'm just going to apply this ACL in outside interface. After that, these are the like action. We can either deny, we can permit, we can also write a remark. Remark means, so let me write the remark, like remark here, this is my outside interface ACL. That's it. So if I run this command, so run access list outside, that is the command to see the ACL configuration. So now we have a remark, right? So this basically remarks point us that this is a ACL which is applied on a outside interface. Okay, so let me add one more statement on that same ACL. So I'll just give the name access list outside. Okay, after permit ICMP any means any source and any destination. Okay, here also we can like the ACL in this way only, this way also. Outside we can permit. Okay, here we can use these kind of steps also. Okay, host name, any means any IPv4, EGRP, GRE, that kind of stuff. Host also we can use. Okay, so if we want to write a ACL between two hosts, like this is our inside host and this is our outside host. Okay, XSL is outside permit host. So if we write the host here, what happens in that case? Basically, consider this ACL as a standard ACL. Okay. So what I'll do now, permit IP. After if I use the is host, so let me allow all the IP traffic from between these two hosts. Okay, this is my inside host, this is my outside host. Let's suppose this guy 192.168.1.1. So what this ACL said, all the traffic which is coming from this guy, this host to this host, this is a source, this is a destination, it is by default allowed. Okay, so run access list. So I am having these three statements in my outside ACL. So what I'll do now, I have created these ACLs, right? I also need to apply these ACLs in my outside interface. How I can apply these things? So this is a command for the access group outside. In means direction which is inside direction. Inside direction means the traffic coming from outside to inside, outside to in direction. In direction means inbound direction. Okay, the traffic which is leaving this interface, which is known as the outbound traffic. The traffic which is coming in this interface, which is the inbound traffic. Okay, so here I am using in keyword. Here we have a two keyword, in, out, and global. Global means if we use the global means that ACL applied on or globally means on both direction, in direction and out direction. Okay, but we want this ACL in direction only, so I am using here in interface. I can call my interface here outside. Done. Okay. So
what we are trying to do, access
we are just
access group outside, interface outside. I don't understand.
This is a ACL name, right? This is a direction. Okay, direction means that the traffic which is coming into that interface. Okay, in outside interface, and we are just calling this is a like outside interface. So we are applying this ACL in inbound direction of particular interface, means we are applying this ACL on this interface for the traffic which is coming to this interface, coming into this interface. Okay, means in direction, inbound direction. The traffic which is leaving this interface, which is the outbound traffic. Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, got it, man?
Are you calling from IT technology? Okay. Okay.
So the thing is, that is the live way how we can apply the ACLs on an interface. Okay. So now let me open my inside host. This is my inside host. Let me also open my Nadeem, can you mute yourself, man? So now let me configure the IP address on this outside interface. After we will test these ACLs are allowing the traffic or not. Okay. Host name outside interface of 0/0. IP address 192.168.1.1 255.255.255.0. Exit. Here I already have a route, so let me check I am able to reach my next hop or not. Under 1, so I am able to reach to my next hop. Okay, so run access list outside. So what I'll have, I have this ACL which is allowing all the ICMP traffic and all the IP traffic. Okay, so if I'll go into my inside users and I'll just initiate some traffic. So let me check the routing. I have defaulter. Okay, so let me initiate a ping 192.168.1.1 to this guy. So we need a net for that. Okay, because I'm not having any net. So I will tell you that what is the need of net. Okay, so here you just think I just configure the PAT over there. Okay, net. Here I use the dynamic, that is the like command to configure PAT. Okay, okay, so you just think like we have PAT over there, we have classes on that net, how we have a like how PAT work, everything there. So here if I initiate the traffic this time, so route, yeah, I am having route over there, that's cool. 10.1.1.101 I will to ping. Okay, so my ping is not working. Okay, so if I'll see the ACLs again, so like this is the ACL which is allowing all the traffic, okay, from inside to outside. If I'll ping from here 192.168.1, so the thing is I'm not able to reach from this place also. So interface IP brief, let me see. I already have configured this interface. Okay, 192.168.1.250, that is the IP address. So this is the IP address. Okay, let me just make it bridge. Maybe I am getting the issue with this host, that's why. Thing 192.168.1.1. Again, let me ping to my firewall. Oh, thing is not working. Maybe I'm having that connectivity issues here. That's why. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just write my configuration. I'll just reload these devices. Right, ma'am. So I'll run this command to save my configuration. Same command over there. Okay. Right, ma'am. Because I added this guy, this net over there, because I want to connect these things with the internet. That's why. So what I'll do, I'll just connect the cable direct between these guys. I will also take one more class on ACLs, okay? So no worries. 2 classes you definitely got the ideas of ACLs. So in routing and switching class, you don't like configured ACLs till now, or that Mahinda will not teach that ACLs yet. Okay, so now let me start my devices again. Okay, so now you got the idea what is the use case of objects, okay? So we have like protocol type of object, we have a network type of objects, we have a service kind of objects, okay? So it can combine the different kind of service together. Like if we have DMZ zone, and where in DMZ zone we are running the web service, we are running the telnet service, we are running the SMTP service, we are running the DNS service. So like we are running around 4 services. So what we do, we just create one service object group where we can combine all these 4 services, and we can after that we can write the policies on the basis of these services to the users. Okay, we can also have a like ICMP type of objects. So the thing is, by using the ICMP kind of object, we can write the policies for that, because in ICMP type we have lots of ICMP types. Like we have our ICMP request, ICMP reply, ICMP unreachable messages. Okay, so there's a like lots of ICMP types and codes. Okay. So if you want to write the policies for that, we can write the policy in such a way. So this is like DHCP relay agent. If we want to configure the ASA for the DHCP relaying as a DHCP relay agent. What is the DHCP relay agent? What we have? Let's suppose I have this topology. Let's suppose this is my DHCP server, or this is any users. Okay, and this user want the IP address from DHCP server, from this server. So what basically we do some kind of configuration on ASA firewall. So when this user sends the DHCP request to the ASA, because DHCP request is a broadcast message, okay? So he just initiated broadcast. So this broadcast goes to this router and this firewall as well. So when this firewall receives that broadcast request, so basically what he do, after that he send this request towards the DHCP server. Okay, so by default ASA basically drop all the DHCP request. So the thing is, for that we need to configure, we just make this firewall as a DHCP relay agent. Then only he just pass these requests towards the DHCP server. Okay. So now let me start my firewall and also start my outside. Relay means we are just sending the request from one guy to another guy. Okay, so the thing is, we use DHCP server for dynamically assign the IP address, for getting the IP address dynamically. Right in your home, if you connect with the Wi-Fi modem, that time you got the IP address from DHCP, right? Same in my case also. I am connected with my modem here, so I am also getting the IP address from DHCP here. So DHCP is a server which provides the IP address. Okay. If I'll see my internet, if I'll see my network connection, so I'm getting this IP address via DHCP only. So here you see like DHCP is enabled now. That's why I'm getting the IP address via DHCP server. Okay. Now you got the idea. DHCP is a server which provides the IP address, because the thing is, if like like there is some sales guy and some marketing guys, they are not aware about the IP address and that kind of steps, right? And they are also not aware of how we can configure that IP address on a device, on a system. So what people do, people basically configure one DHCP server. So all these kind of users get the IP address from DHCP only. Okay, let's suppose say here I am getting the IP address from dynamically only, automatically. Okay, so that is the meaning of DHCP. I have got my firewall over there. Where is my firewall? I am getting this firewall here. Let me initiate a ping. If ping will work, then only we can continue for the next steps. Yeah, now ping is working and I am able to reach my outside network. Okay. So this is my inside router, right? So what I'll do, I'll initiate a ping towards my outside, because I have write the ACL which is allowing the traffic. So my ping is working now. The thing is, this outside is also receiving the traffic, right? Because I am having this ACL. So run access list outside, because I am having this ACL, right, which is allowing all the ICMP traffic. Now if like you want to block the traffic, let's suppose traffic which is initiated by inside users, okay, this users. So what is the IP address of this user? So IP interface brief, IP address this way 10.1.1.101. So what I'll do now, what we want, if any traffic which is coming from this guy to the outside users, I don't want, like I want to block that traffic. So how I can block this now? And you already have these 3 ACL statements there. Okay, so what do you do now? So access list, you just need to check the sequence number. Okay, like this is a sequence number. For first line is 1, for second line is 2, third line is 3. Okay, so what do you do now? You can write this the ACL in this way: access list outside line. So the thing is, this is a line which is allowing that traffic, right? So you need to put one line in first place. Okay, line 1. Here you just need deny ICMP coming from host, which is 10.1.1.101, going to host 192.168.1.1. So I have write this ACLs here. Okay, so if I again check my ACL now, but it is not added. Find the duplicate elements. Okay, so let me check it. Access list, this one, 2 IP host, this one. Okay, so let me try to write here second. Okay, I'm getting a duplicate element. How? Access list outside rename, okay, deny, use this to specify line number at which ACL should be entered. We use this line number. Why it is not taking? It's like weird behavior for that. What I'll do now, I'll just remove this line from here. After I'll just apply this ACL. So access list outside, it is added somewhere else also. Because this ACL is allowed, that's why I have getting this error. So let me clear all the ACL access list. If you want to remove the ACL, you can run this command. Okay, clear access list, clear, configure, access list. I have now configured all the ACL, so run access list. I'm not having access. Now what I'll do, I'll just create one ACL access list. Outside, I'm just denying the traffic, denying ICMP from the host, which is 10.1.1.101 to host 192.168.1.1. I'll just apply this ACL access group outside and interface outside. Now if this time I have just tried to initiate a ping from there, that time ping is not working, right? Because we are denying here and by this ACL. So if you see if you run that command so access list, this is the ACL which is denying this traffic. Okay. So that is the way how you can permit the traffic, how you can deny the traffic for particular ACLs. So if you want to like allow that traffic, so you need to write the ACL like access list permit access list after the name of the ACL outside, then permit ICMP from host 10.1.1.101 to host 192.168.1.1. So access list. So now you have a deny statement. After that you have a permit statement. Okay. So what happened? First this rule matches. After that this rule match. Okay. So if I'll initiate a ping this time also I'm not like able to ping. What? Because the thing is this, when the ASA receives this traffic, he matches this rule. So according to this rule, it is like denying the traffic because there is a like order from top to bottom. Okay. And we have this ACL in our outside interface. So if you want to allow that traffic, what you need to change the order access list. What you do, you just go to in this ACL. You can just put the no and remove the first statement. After you can add this statement. So run access list. Now you have a permit statement, right? After that you have a deny statement. So if this time I try to ping, so here I am getting the traffic here, okay, but ping is still not succeeded. So what is the cause this time? Anybody able to find what is the cause? The thing is what happens, we have put the wrong here wrong. This is a like source, this is a destination. Okay, so when traffic going from this guy to this guy, source is this IP address 10.1.1.101 and destination is 192.168.1.1. Okay, so that traffic is allowed from high security level to low security level. All the traffic is allowed. When the reply, so this is a like request packet ICMP. When the reply come from outside to inside, that time source is this IP address of this guy, which is 192.168.1.1 and destination is 10.1.1.101. So what we need to do? We need to just change these things here. Okay. So access list outside permit ICMP from host 192.168.1.1 to host 10.1.1.101. So I have write this ACL. Okay. Let me try to ping now. So ping is still not working. So if I run this command, so run access list. So in first statement, we are allowing the traffic from this guy to this guy. The second statement, we are also allowing the traffic from this guy to this guy. Third statement, what happens? This is a source and this is a destination 110.1.1.101. Okay, so what you need to do? You need to remove these statements. Okay. We have one access group and we have only one statement now. Outside extended permit ICMP host this to this. Let me now initiate a ping. Ping is still not working. Okay, so access list. We are getting some hits over there. If we got that kind of hits, means this AC rule is hitting. Okay. So what I'll do now, I'll just go to in this ACLs. Access list outside permit ICMP any to any. I am just allowing the traffic from all the users towards this direction. Okay. Let me now initiate a ping. At that time ping is working. Okay. Because we have this any statements there. Okay. So the thing is, we also have one more lecture on that. So we can discuss more about the ACLs only. Okay, so tomorrow we can focus on the ACL which is related to TCP, UDP, IP and ICMP as well. Okay, so I will try to make one good exercise on that. Okay, so I can explain according to that only. So if you have any question on that, you can ask me, otherwise I'll just stop that class. Okay, then thank you.